G'day guys! So this morning we are in Hartz Mountain National Park and we're going to take on the Hartz Mountain Peak. We get to do a few other cool things along the way, like the lake and the passing. It is a bit cloudy at the moment, so fingers crossed it kind of clears up a little bit by the time we've reached the peak, but we're really excited. It's about 3 to 4 hours return, so let's see how we go.
So this one track has multiple trails on it and we're heading up to the Hartz Peak. We're also going to do the little side tracks as well, so we get to see everything. In total, it took us roughly 4 hours to complete it all. The walk itself is so stunning. It's a very easy trail to follow as the track is wooden boardwalk for the most part. Although it is very narrow, which makes it difficult to pass other people. So just be polite and take your time to let others pass. This is such a popular hiking spot because majority of the trail is very family friendly and easy because most of it is flat. There are a few sections at the beginning where you have to be careful as it becomes rocky and can get a bit muddy, but that doesn't last for too long before you're back onto the nice beautiful boardwalk surrounded by mountains. We're going to be heading up there. But first, we're going to head down to Lake Esperance, which you'll reach within the first 1.5 kilometres of this 8 kilometre return trail. Walking out to the lake is beautiful as you get closer and closer to the Dolorite Mountains. The glacier lake is amazing, crystal clear waters staying perfectly still. There is a bench here to stop and rest, or even brave the chilly waters for a swim, like a few of the kids were doing when we were there. The track down to the lake is a short 100-metre loop track, so you'll end up back on the main trail to continue on. I seriously can't get over how incredible this whole trail was. It was breathtaking from start to finish, and I can see why this place is so popular. The sky started to clear up for us and the sun was shining. We felt so lucky because it was meant to be cloudy all day and we were worried we wouldn't get great visibility at the peak. Wait until you see the views we did get from the peak. They were absolutely unreal. But before we're there, we do have a little more to explore on this track. The second stop on this trail was the Ladies Tarn. Again, this is another very short loop that will bring you back onto the main trail, so it's definitely worth the quick detour. A tarn is a small lake in a hollow area surrounded by steep slopes. They are a type of lake that are formed by glaciers. After the glaciers have melted, they leave behind circular hollows in the valley of the mountains, which then collect water to form the Tarn Lake. I can see why so many others brave the icy waters for a swim, because it looks so tempting. The Ladies Tarn was absolutely beautiful. You just can't beat that crystal clear glacier water. The Ladies Tarn was 2.5 kilometres into the trail, and this would be the last stop if you do not wish to climb to the peak. From here, the trail does become more difficult and strenuous, but it is definitely worth it. As you start to ascend towards the peak, the views of the surrounding mountains just get better and better. There are no roads that go past Hartz Mountain Car Park, so all of the land that you see is completely untouched. From the southwest of the summit, you'll even be able to see the SouthWest National Park on a clear day, showing just how much incredible preservation of land Tasmania has with all of its national parks. I didn't know this until recently, but Tasmania is actually made up of 40% national park, which is just amazing. We seriously couldn't get over the views from the climb. As we kept on, we passed Hartz Lake, which has the best mountain backdrop. climb is easily done by most people, as we saw families and elderly couples alike attempt making it to the top. The trail continues on before reaching the fun part. We started the rock scramble up towards the peak. There is no set trail here, so just take your time climbing from rock to rock, as some of them do wobble, but overall the rocks are really flat and easy to walk along. One short and final climb and we had made it to the top. We were both just speechless with how incredible the view was. It was so clear and we could just see mountains for miles and miles all around us. We spent at least 20 minutes sitting up there and had some lunch, and just took it all in before we started our descent through the rock scramble. Again, the views were just mesmerising the whole way. We made it back down to the saddle that is just before the climb up to the peak and just were blown away by this unbelievable scenery. We started the last little climb back down towards the Ladies Tarn, which meant we were now back on the beautiful boardwalk and had a nice, easy walk all the way back to the car. Because it was still early in the afternoon, we decided to do another trail in the national park so we didn't have to return the next day. Because believe me, the drive-in is not something you want to keep doing if you don't have to. Leaving from the other end of the same car park was a trail that led out to Lake Osborne, another glacial lake within the Hartz National Park. Again, this track was predominantly boardwalk and was only a 2-kilometre return that took us roughly 20 minutes to complete. We had the lake to ourselves, so we took this opportunity to have an unbelievably cold dip to cool off after our morning in the mountains. It was so crisp and clean and one of those truly refreshing moments.
Well guys, that's it for today. We've completed the hike and gone for our nice refreshing swim in the lake. So we're done.
Time to sleep.
Time to sleep. No, we're going to do another waterfall.
Delightful.
Alright, thanks for coming along guys. Really hope you can get out to this hike because it seriously has been my favourite one so far.
It was beautiful.
It was. So thanks guys.
On the drive back out of the national park, we stopped to do the short 10-minute walk down to Arve Falls. There is a car park on the side of the road that is signed, so you won't be able to miss it. It was a great way to end our day of hiking and tick off all the things in Hartz Mountain National Park.